welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jen, and I like to do all kinds of different stuff on my channel. It's a hobby for me. I want it to be fun, and I like to share all the things that make me happy and bring me joy. So today I'm going to be cooking, which is definitely one of the things that I love to do the most. I recently reacted to a Kay's cooking video where she made a cloudy omelet. If you haven't seen that video yet, look for it down there in my videos. But there was nothing wrong with the recipe. I actually thought the recipe seemed relatively interesting, but her execution and her technique were off. So I thought I would try to go ahead and make that omelet today. It's also known as a souffle omelet, which is how the recipe that I found, because I had to search for a recipe, trust me. That's what the recipe that I found calls it, is a souffle omelet, but the recipe is exactly what Kay did. So we're just gonna go ahead and whip this thing out and see what it looks like and see what it tastes like, and you know, that'll be that. I really was curious because I know how to make an omelet. You know, I can make a really good omelet, but I've never made a souffle omelet, or a cloudy omelet as Kay calls it. So the first thing I need to do is separate 2 eggs. I will try not to get yolk in my white. That is one of the things that Kay did wrong. That was a blunder for her, because they will not whip properly if you have any yolk in the white. And I said that even in my reaction, that shouldn't go in there. So I always crack my eggs on a paper towel on my counter, just because I can prevent any kind of gooey stuff from getting on my counter. And I'm going to separate this and put the white into my big bowl, because we're going to whip these up. And I just go ahead and I rock it back and forth carefully, not to puncture the yolk, until I get all of that egg white breaking off. I mean, I know that they make handy dandy egg separators and things, but I've never found it difficult enough to need any extra help. I think that one's done. And then we'll do one more. All right, so now we have 2 egg whites and 2 egg yolks. So this is what our egg whites and our egg yolks look like after I've separated them. We're just going to go ahead and set these to the side, and we're going to mix these until we get stiff peaks. Okay, there we have some stiff peaks. Just go ahead and put my mixer down so you can see how that peak stands up. That is what is called a stiff peak. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push that to the side, get my egg yolks here, and I'm just going to put a pinch of salt. And I'm going to mix these together. And I think that's good enough. Put that in my sink. And then we're just going to fold these yolks into our egg whites. We don't want to mix too much, because you will make the egg white collapse. And we just did all that work. We don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold these together. All right, I think it's about as far as I want to take it, because again, we don't want to make that egg white completely collapse. Okay, so now that we have our egg whites whipped to stiff peaks and our egg yolks salted and blended together, and we folded those into our egg whites. We're all set to go ahead and cook this. We're going to add this to our pan once the pan gets hot. I have it over very low heat. It's all the way at the lowest setting. And once it gets hot, I will add some Pam to the pan, and we'll put this in there. We'll cover it with our lid, and the recipe says about 5 minutes or so. It could, be a few more, but until the bottom starts to get a golden brown and the top begins to set. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but I'm very curious to see how this is going to turn out. Okay, our pan is finally starting to warm up. I'm going to spray it with Pam, even though these are very good non-stick pans, because the instructions tell me to, and I love to follow instructions. So let's go ahead and give that a spray. It also says you can use butter, but let's be honest, I don't need any extra, so we're going to go ahead and do it this way. And then I'm just going to plop this down in. And spread it out into a circular shape, it says. And see, if you can tell, if you watch that Kay's cooking reaction that I did, I mean, it's pretty much identical to what she was doing, with the exception of she got the egg yolks into her egg whites, which therefore didn't give her the proper air in them that she needed to make this. And I think her eggs were not good, and that doesn't help. So we have that in. I'm going to put the lid on, and we will keep an eye on this, and I will see you guys when it's done, basically. Okay, so I believe it's done. I did turn my heat up to a medium-low just because that low heat didn't really seem to be getting it cooked. And it did take a full 10 minutes to get to this point. So what we're going to do is slide it out of our pan and give it a fold. And there we have our cloud omelet. It's very fluffy. Let's go ahead and give this a taste, and I'm sure it's going to taste just like eggs. But I don't think I'll make a grimace when I'm tasting mine, because I know my eggs were good. So let's go ahead and cut a piece. Oops. It's delicious. It tastes like eggs, obviously, but it has a different texture even than scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs can be really fluffy. Mine usually are, but I don't know. There's just something different about the texture of it. It's very good. And it was not hard. I will say that the only adjustments I made were with the temperature, because that low setting was just not getting it done. And then I did have to use the full 10 minutes. So I turned up the temperature after about 7 minutes to a medium low. And the final 3 minutes were cooked at that. And that's what I think finally got it to finish cooking. But yeah, it's very good. I highly recommend this recipe. There is nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with this recipe. Only thing this omelet needs is some cheese, but I didn't want to adulterate it in any way because Kay didn't use cheese in hers. So I didn't want to use cheese in mine. It's actually really good. I'm excited about that. My husband's going to love trying this. Maybe I'll make it for him on one of his days off. Well, anyway. That's it for this video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. And if you haven't seen it already, I am doing a giveaway for my 100 subscribers. because we just reached that milestone, and I'm very excited about that. And I wanted to do something to give back to you guys for joining me on this journey and watching me and do all my silly fun things that I like to do and the things that I like to collect and buy. And it's just nice to have company, right? So if you haven't seen that video yet, give it a watch and follow the instructions and enter that contest. I'll be doing that drawing on Sunday morning. And until the next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.